Bills are coming into next season favored to win the AFC, according to DraftKings, followed by the Ravens, Patriots, and then the Chiefs. And so let's reflect. Who do we have as the team to beat in the AFC? Mina.
I'm going to go with a team that's not even on that list, and I know I'm going to be the only person who says this. Why not the Jacksonville Jaguars? They were the only team in the NFL in the second half of the season to have a top 10 offense and defense. And it took them a second to get rolling, new head coach. But by the end, this offense was exceptional. Liam Cohen got the best play out of Trevor Lawrence of his career. You saw that in the second part of the season. The other thing I love about the Jags is this. They kept their entire coaching staff. Anthony Campanile, their excellent defensive coordinator, was a head coach, a guy who drew some interest for a head coaching job. He stayed. This defense was phenomenal. I think they need to add a couple of pieces. Devin Lloyd is a free agent for sure. But they were trending in the right direction, and I do think they're going to be exceptionally good next year as well. And for me, this is about year 2 with Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence. You didn't even get, by the way, a healthy season out of Travis Hunter, who they spent so much draft capital on. He comes back from injury, and I think they're going to have a good plan for him. So they're off people's radar as evidence, and obviously it would be easier for me to point to Lamar, Josh, or Patrick's teams. I get that, or the Broncos defense. But when I look at the Jags, I see a complete team, a team that consistently flies under the radar, and I would not be surprised if they are excellent next season.
Love that one. You want to go?
I love that, Mina. I like the theme that you're going with. They'll make the easy picks like Lamar, Allen, Burrow. I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers, and I think it's going to be an LA Super Bowl next year in LA. The reason being is because this defense, you saw what it could do under Jesse Minter. They bring Chris O'Leary in here, who runs the same scheme, and they have this similar feeling about his potential as a D coordinator. But that's not the special part. They bring in Mike McDaniel as an offensive coordinator. And I know everyone talks about how creative he is. They talk about how quirky he is. But offensive football, that mixed with Justin Herbert's ability, which he's never got the opportunity to coach, he's going to be cooking with oil then. And not only that, Justin Herbert isn't going to have to bear the brunt of the offensive production. And you're going to see him play at a level that we've never seen. And it's going to be funny to contrast that between Mike McDaniel with Herbert and Mike McDaniel with Tua Tagovailoa.
I'm sorry. With the Herbert, I'll believe it when I see it. I know he is You're always telling me. Everyone's always telling me, yet they have yet to win a playoff game. He struggles in the fourth quarter. He has more interceptions than touchdowns this year in the playoffs. Last year, they blew a 27-point lead. I will never understand why we put all our eggs in the Chargers basket until we are proven otherwise. I don't get it.
I understand
You told me it's going to be different with Harbaugh. And look at
it. It was different. It definitely took a step. Once they fix the offensive line, which they will have a better offensive line because they'll be healthy this year with Alton Slater back, Mike McDaniel is a differentiator. He's passed on head coaching opportunities for a reason, and I think he's going to be the hottest candidate a year from now after the year he's going to have with Herbert.
Clip this a year from now.
Clip it.
Clip it. Go ahead, S.A.
I don't know why you'd pick the Jacksonville Jaguars when they go and they lose to the Buffalo Bills the second they get to the playoffs after winning the AFC South, but that's neither here nor there. I will tell you this, number 3 seed in the AFC, they're respectable, no doubt. I love what you had to say, Hawk, about the LA Super Bowl, because I'm hoping that would happen, to be quite honest with you. That would be pretty fly. The Rams versus the Chargers at SoFi with the Super Bowl championship, that would be pretty fly, no doubt. But that ain't going to happen. One of them's not going to make it, and that team is going to be the Chargers. The Rams, I think, can make it out of the NFC. I don't see the Chargers being able to pull that off. What happened to the Broncos, ladies and gentlemen? 14-3, number 1 seed, likely would have been in the Super Bowl if Bo Nix could have played. 68 sacks on the year, 4 shy of an all-time record, 4 different dudes led by Benito who had at least 7 sacks on the season. This defense, top 3, top 2 in points allowed. They ain't going anywhere. And I'm looking at them, and I'm looking at Bo Nix being back, Sean Payton being back, Cortland Sutton. I don't know what the status is of these cats contractually, whether it's R.J. Harvey or Sutton or Mims or anybody else. But I'm looking at the Denver Broncos, and I'm saying, why would I not pick them? I mean, I expect the AFC West to be really, really tough with Kansas City trying to resurrect itself and the Chargers trying to ascend. I get that part. But I'm looking at Denver, and I'm saying to myself, excuse me, they were the best team in the AFC this year with the number 1 overall seed, and they would have been in the Super Bowl in a lot of people's eyes if their starting quarterback hadn't gone down in a divisional playoff game, in the second to last play of the game. So I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not going to sleep on them. If we have to pick a team who we believe is going to come out of the AFC, I say the Chargers should be that team. Most of us would probably pick Houston if we had any faith in their offense, but we don't. So because of that, the next best thing to me is the Denver Broncos.
Mina, go ahead.
I don't hate that pick at all. I'm not going to say it's a bad one, but I will say this. I think the AFC West is going to be much more challenging for Denver this next season. Andrew, I agree with all of his points, frankly, about the Chargers. There's no way, famous last words, the Chargers' offensive line can be more injured than what we saw last season. Shay, to your point, Herbert didn't have a great postseason. He was playing behind backups and backups and backups. And then the Chiefs, to me, like this was the year, right, where the Chiefs were the weakest I believe that they will ever been. So I just think the AFC West is going to be more challenging next season. Doesn't mean the Broncos won't finish first in their own division. I just think their path is going to be harder next year.
It was a special sophomore year in the NFL for Drake May after the Patriots went 4-13 in May's rookie season. The UNC grad made a statement in 2025, throwing for over 4,000 passing yards to go with 35 total touchdowns, an MVP runner-up finish, and a Super Bowl appearance. The 2024 draft was loaded with talented quarterbacks. 4 of these QBs have led their team to the playoffs, including Drake May, who led the Patriots to the Super Bowl in his only second year in the NFL. Let's welcome in Mina Kimes now. And Mina, if we're going to re-rank the quarterback draft class from 2024, who would you draft first at this point?
Well, first I want to say I'm glad you highlighted how good that quarterback class has been, because I keep hearing, oh, young quarterbacks are failed by the NFL and we don't let them develop. Look at the 2024 class and how successful they've been already. Please hold this class up to remind folks of how successful young quarterbacks can be and can be quickly. Okay, so my ranking, the top 3, honestly, I could see them changing places over the course of their careers. It's really hard to rank, but I'm going to put May first. And I am buying whatever Drake May stock people are selling this offseason. He was fantastic. This is one of the best young seasons by a quarterback, a second-year quarterback in the history of the league. I understand he has room to improve, of course. The team has to improve, but he was spectacular. Really close for me between Williams and Daniels. I'm going to put Williams above Daniels, however. To me, this is an upside play. I think you just see the flashes of just such high-end, spectacular talent. And I think while Jayden Daniels is incredible, and I wouldn't be surprised if he returns to being great, the durability does concern me a bit with him. After that, I'm going to go Bo Nix, who's obviously had a lot of success in the league already. Michael Penix Jr. after that, and then J.J. McCarthy rounding up the class. So, not too dissimilar from their draft order in that regard, but I view them as a clear top 3.
Okay. S.A.?
I was going to let Hawk go, because I wanted to hear what he had to say. I want to see if Hawk was going to say something that I didn't like. But, I'm listening to Mina right here. And, I got to be careful because Miss Brilliant over there, if you get it wrong, she'll be all over you and stuff.
I don't like when you do this.
Let me say this. I get where you're coming from. And statistically speaking, particularly over the year that he had, Drake May is obviously an answer that is easily acceptable. I'm going with Caleb Williams. I'm a Caleb Williams fan. And I'm telling you this right now. How many games was it? 7 come from behind, to win the game in the last 2 minutes 7 times this year. 7 times. This brother, and I remember coming into the season, right, guys? And everybody was talking about, well, it's a long road, and what's Chicago going to do? And I said, hold up. He played all 17 games his rookie year. Game 1 of this NFL season arrived, and I said, that was his 3rd head coach and his 4th offensive coordinator. I'm like, damn, y'all. Could you get a man a chance? In 17 games, he had to go through all that, 18 games, and sure enough, Ben Johnson rose up in there. He's got stability. And look at this brother now. Caleb Williams has star written all over him. All over him. And unlike Drake May, Mina, that wasn't an elite Chicago Bears defense that was behind him. It was very opportunistic in terms of creating turnovers. But outside of that, There was nothing to brag about with that defense. Caleb Williams is special. NFL body, can run with the football. Is there anybody that throws the football better on the run than him? And pocket presence, the list goes on. I love the kid. I'm telling you right now, I know that statistically, he ain't Drake May and what Drake May did this year. And props to Drake May. I see Caleb Williams winning an MVP someday. I see him winning a Super Bowl championship, bringing one to Chicago someday. I believe in this brother, and I have no problem with leaving him as number one on that list. Of course, Drake May would be number two. I put Bo Nix up there right now, too. Jaden Daniels was injured last year, so it's dicey for me. It's a struggle between him and Bo Nix. Of course, Penix next, and then J.J.
Really?
McCarthy is definitely last.